What's going on, everybody? It's your boy E Double here, aka Eric West, and we are here with some more Leaf Green randomized Nuzlocke, and we are here to take on the SSN. And then in the next episode is when I think I'm gonna go ahead and take on Dig This Cave and get our encounter there. This is the bed, right. But I'm gonna actually, because the SSN is so big and there's so many battles, I am gonna be speeding through all of this so that you guys don't feel like you're here forever. I don't want episodes to ever really drag on and be boring, you know. You guys are still gonna be able to get the gist of things. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and knock out this Arbok. We want everybody to get as many levels as possible, and round out the team possibly even, so that we can go ahead and take on Lieutenant Surge and be okay. I think I'm good. Protect might be useful. Maybe I'll get rid of Bubble. I'll do that. I'll get rid of Bubble for Protect, just in case. I mean, yeah, you just never know when you might be able to use it. That's my thing. So, gonna go ahead and hope, but nope. I was gonna hope that this thing did more damage to this Whiscash, but unfortunately Majestic doesn't have that type of firepower just yet. But there we go, it's knocked out, and we did gain a level, which is awesome. I have no idea what level Gary's gonna be, or Brian. Pardon me. I have no idea what level Brian is gonna be, because I don't even remember what Gary was at this point of the game. Like, I want to say 21, 22. So I might already be on par with Brian, but realistically, I have no idea. The only thing I can do, besides switch it now, is I have to try and get everybody up to 24. Period, before I fight Lieutenant Surge. Now, I'm not gonna grind up if they're not there at the end of the ship. I'm just hoping that they get there on their own, you know? But it shouldn't be too much of a problem, and we do have plenty of trainers to get, and we do actually have a couple of hidden items on here. I believe there are 4 hidden items on the ship, not counting all the items that you can also pick up that are in plain sight, we'll call it. But let's get Poseidon leveled up. Actually, who needs the least amount of experience? 6 to 13. Okay, so we'll do it like that then. Put Slim Jesus, Poseidon, 2, 6, and these are 13s, and this is an 11. Oops. And then we'll put Reiner up after Krusty. Let's go ahead and heal. And there we go. So that's nice. Already visited this room. God damn it. There's so much, man. There is so freaking much. Let's fingers crossed that we can get a good item though, because there are a lot of opportunities to get items. How many of you have been on boats before, since we're on the SSN? Because I remember, I don't think I was on a boat before. I think I watched my parents hop on a boat on Disneyland, but I was too little to get on, or too. It was like they didn't allow kids of my size at that time, or something like that. But I was with my auntie and my cousins and shit. So like, it's not like they left me behind. I don't want to give the wrong impression, you know. I just had to wait for them for a bit, and then we went around places, and I came back to see them. But those big ass cruise ships, man, that's what the SSN is like. It's insane, and I'm gonna hop on one soon. I have no idea when. I have to see like how much money I'm gonna be making this year and stuff like that. But at one point or another, I'm gonna try at least. Let's see what this is. Pecha berry. I mean, it's a better berry. Carbos. Nice. That's some money. At some point I want to hop on the Queen Mary, which I'll probably put up a photo for you guys right now. I don't know if it actually runs though. That's my thing. Maybe I can only get a tour of it or something. But excuse me. Ah, shit! Sorry about that. I sneezed. Jesus. Oh, okay. So let's go ahead and heal. Awesome. And I just realized this thing had color change. I was like, my nose was distracting me. Yeah, I don't know if I can get a tour or actually ride it or what the situation with that is. Why am I still in Slim Jesus? But essentially, like, it's this giant ass cruise ship, and it's there's some history that I want to read up on behind the boat, because I like to do that when I go places, just so that I know what I'm going to, and it'll have more significance to me instead of being just that one time. Nice critical hit, Poseidon. Instead of it being, oh, that one time I went to this boat, whatever. You know, it'll be more meaningful, and so it'll stick with me more. Thank God these Weezings don't have self-destruct. Fingers crossed. Bubble, and it is gone. And if not that, then maybe I'll take a little island trip or something, someplace, somewhere. You know, I'll have to see. But I like boats. I got to design a boat actually, because there was this class I was taking where I was studying Walt Disney. How the fuck did this centret live? How the actual fuck did this centret live? Whatever. Bye, Veronica. I got to design a boat because I was studying Walt Disney, and so I like studied him in depth. I was studying about his childhood, the inspirations for him at the time, his life values, both from being a child up until him being a young adult and stuff, where he grew up, what the neighborhood was like, a lot of stuff, right? Then I started getting to study his animations, his cartoons, some of the ideas behind his creations, and then even behind some of the stuff in the company. And yeah, there was a lot that I looked at. And for my final presentation, right, we were all put into groups, and we had to pick a Disney movie. But obviously there's so many, right? And in college, some classes have sections. So it's basically like everybody who's enlisted in that course comes to the lectures together, but then we are all split up into smaller classes at different times and locations, to actually work with the TAs and digest everything and do assignments and stuff like that. So each person's section had a completely different list of Disney movies, and it was basically like the students in those sections came up with the list, but the TAs had to approve of them according to whatever characteristics they were told to look for in that movie. Of course, this required the TAs to know a good deal about Disney movies and plot and even small details like that. But more or less, we had this list, and we formed into groups based off of who was working on what movie, and it was all one massive group project, right? For me, things were a lot different because I had to be absent for a couple of days, or for a couple of sections, so I missed out on quite a bit. He has 20 HP. He can probably make it to the room. 2, 1 second, guys. 3, yeah, he'll make it. And so I show up one day, just not having a movie at all, right? And I'm looking, and the whole list of movies were Disney movies I had never seen before, and I don't want to have to waste time or spend even more time than I need to watching a movie I've never seen, but then also like having to study a movie I've never seen. So that would require probably watching it multiple times. And it's hilarious because what am I doing? I was so freaking... Oh my god. I gotta pay more attention. Oh, Jesus. Let me just wrap you up real quick, yeah? Let me just finish you off real quick. There we go. Now, swapping the shit out. Nice. Oh, okay. He only had one. Yeah, and so I'm looking at the list, and there was only one movie that I've seen before, and I wanted it to be easier on myself. I had seen... What was the damn movie? It was... Oh, Princess and the Frog. There you go. The black one where they had Tiana as the princess. And so we went ahead and I did that, and it was one because it was the only one I had ever seen, but it was also because there was a chick there in the class who she was the only person who picked that movie, and no one was willing to switch groups to help her out. So she was about to be in a really screwed up position where she would be the only person without any help, where the rest of us 300 students would have an entire group. So I was like, hey man, I don't have a group yet, and I don't care what movie we do, so I mean, I'll be your partner. So it was the two of us, while everyone had groups of like 4 to 7, and in my section there was a whole group of like 9 people. It was unnecessarily massive, to say the least. And it was like, okay, cool, like we got this, you know. We started having dinner with each other, having lunch with each other. We started having phone calls. 21, perfect. We started having phone calls with one another, sharing ideas and stuff. And it was pretty hilarious in a way, because at the end of it, I'm like, yo, I haven't seen this movie since it came out. So I had to, oh my god, Soul Dew. I had to rewatch it either way it goes. Basically, Zinc. A black belt. Yo, Madness. My boy. My boy. My boy. Oh, the Karate Master. Yo, hang on. I gotta change the layout real quick. The Karate Master now has his own black belt. It's official. It is official. But, yeah, and so like I had to rewatch it anyways, and I took a bunch of notes. I was even pausing in the middle of the movie to take more notes and stuff. That way I wouldn't have to watch it multiple times. I would just sit down and break down certain aspects of the scenes. But I was also studying the animation itself and style and everything else like that. My partner had picked Princess and the Frog because she's from New Orleans. So this movie spoke to her and her culture. Like, it's one thing to like look at culture ethnically, but it's a whole different thing to look at culture as far as where a person comes from in like terms of a specific city. Excuse me. So I was like relieved, you know? I was relieved to have this person who was an expert in the movie that we were looking at, because she knew every little thing about this movie. Damn, it's not worth it. I'm gonna die. She knew every little thing about this movie. She would know a lot about the architecture and all this other junk, and like, and be authentic. She could identify how authentic something was in our project, and that was a major bonus that I don't think any other groups in my section anyways had. So I was feeling really confident and cool. And then the thing was, we kind of fell out in communication. She wasn't responding to my text so often, and when she would respond to me almost an entire day later. Oh, hey, sorry, I was at the bar last night. Or, hey, can we cancel this meeting? I'm gonna go drinking with my friends. And it was just so, where can I get a Snorlax? Hang on, I'll continue the story in a second. Where can I get a Snorlax? Oh! You can get a Snorlax in Cerulean City? Wait, how does that work? There's no water inside of Cerulean City. Yo, I just had an idea. Oh, you can probably fish inside the gym. And then there's one in Celadon too. Okay. Oh, well, the thing is, no, it wouldn't be a surfing mon in the if it's Cerulean. But there's that little lake you can surf in whatchamacallit, Celadon. So about Celadon, it's either surf or a fishing mon, and I'll have to take my chances. Oh, but it also depends on what rod you use. Shit. Well, in any case, yeah, she became super irresponsible, and basically her job was to do all the organizing, writing portion of everything, and my job was to do all the tedious, detailed, artsy portion of everything, because they wanted both, you know, because it's Disney. You can't have a non-aesthetic side to it. Let's go out into Poseidon, excuse me. So yeah, and like the whole assignment, I totally forgot to bring it up to you guys. The whole assignment was to make a freaking an attraction for Disney, right? And so we went ahead and we did that, and the attraction had to be based off of the Disney movie that we picked. So I was trying to figure out what the hell we would do. We had a couple of ideas, but for the most part, she didn't get a whole lot of work done. Like, we would be meeting up. There's the study space at my college where there was a room you could go to where you would actually, like, you'd be able to lock the door, have a chalkboard there. It could fit a whole group of people, and you guys would be able to talk. You wouldn't have to be silent like in the rest of the space. It was dope. And it would seem like she was doing some work. A choice band? Bro! Yo, we'll give that to Slim Jesus, but that's like a headband for the Karate Master. Alright, I'm gonna change the layout again, because I'm gonna change the layout again, man. But actually, maybe it'd be better on one of these guys. Poseidon, Krusty. No, I kind of need Krusty to switch back and forth, but Poseidon would be great for that. So would Majestic. I'll give it to Slim though, because Slim needs to hit. No, screw that, Poseidon. Yo, there's some great items up here. First, let me go ahead and heal. And yeah, she wouldn't actually accomplish any real work. And at the end of the day, her only real task was to do a freaking PowerPoint. But we had no rough drafts of the PowerPoint. And it's like, you have to go over these with the TAs. Like, you have to present these things to the TAs before they hand all your stuff to the professor to be graded. Because everyone can't go over their presentation all the damn time, because like, there's 300 of us, even though, and that's actually why it was more acceptable to have such large groups. But the shit was like, yeah, with this chick never coming back to me, and then our TA went missing and was involved in some crazy shit. She like showed up one day a few days later, and she had to have somebody watching her the entire time, like evaluating her, trying to make sure she was capable of doing her job. It was insane. She showed up and she's like, I can't really say what happened. I kind of don't want to talk about it either, but it's been wild. I was being mistaken for someone that I wasn't. What am I doing? I was being mistaken for someone that I wasn't, and someone died, and I'm so confused, and I've just been in this court case, and I have no idea what's happening anymore. And I was like, whoa, it has fucking Voltazor. It sounded like she might have had another personality that killed somebody, or some crazy shit like that, you know? It was really difficult to figure out what the fuck was going on. But, come on, stop all these fucking shenanigans. Alright, Krusty, come in with your vice grip, because I just remembered you have that. But yeah, and so the TA was missing, so our entire section got held back by like 1 or 2 weeks. Because there was 1 or 2 weeks where we weren't given the assignments we needed to be given. Then, what do you call it? Because like a TA filled in, but obviously, oh shit, I didn't mean to go down. Obviously, everybody does their classes differently. So the TA had to kind of show us a film and have us analyze it and look at certain aspects of it, because that was the best he could do. Especially because the teacher wasn't given a specific way to help us out, because no one could reach the TA. So there was no one to say, hey, where did you kids really leave off, or what were your students supposed to be going over today? You know? And it's like, we could tell them, but that's once they're already there. They can't prepare for that shit. So it was really, really stupid and confusing and difficult. And it made it even worse that my partners also sometimes stopped showing up, but also was becoming worse and worse at communication. So then I find out that at some point we're like getting super close to the deadline, and she hadn't even started on the PowerPoint. And I was like, but we've been having these meetings and stuff. What have you been doing all this time that we've been meeting up to do work together? And she was like, oh, I was just taking notes, but I started over the PowerPoint. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what the actual fuck? What a bum. But, bonjour, Eric. Imagine seeing you here. Eric, were you really invited? So how's your Pokedex coming? I already caught 40 kinds, pal. Different kinds are everywhere. Crawl around in grassy areas and look hard for them. Alright. Story time's gonna have to wait a second, guys. I'm sorry that this whole thing... What is up with fucking Snorlaxes today? I'm sorry that this whole thing was like me telling a story. I gotta do better with my commentary, man, honestly. But let's go ahead and... Actually, I'm gonna... Oh, that was my banded water gun? That does nothing! That does absolutely nothing to him. This is gonna take forever. Ooh, never mind, never mind. Yeah, she didn't get anything done, so for... for those like 2 or 3 like what do you call it, weeks, it was me doing, what do you call it, it was me doing the aesthetic part. I was like sitting there in the little library space, like doing hella chalkboard work. I had so many photos of the work I was doing. I filled up the entire chalkboard several times over because there's so much that you had to design for the attraction. It was like, and the entire attraction was completely my idea because she didn't pitch in any sort of ideas at all, right? So I had to do everything, and then she finally put together a PowerPoint which didn't match my shit at all. So I sent her the photos because I was like, hey man, we said we were gonna do this and this, and you didn't include any of that, so here you go, you have to do this shit. Awesome, we beat Brian. And yeah, at the end of it, like I designed the entire cruise ship. I like made a sketch of the entire thing too. It was insane. I sketched the outfits that the actors and actresses would wear. I designed the events that would happen on the cruise ship and the cruise ship's menu, because we were gonna make an entire little New Orleans town as an attraction for Disneyland. And I also designed how we could do live music, how we could have music running through that section of the park, the architecture of the buildings. I drew a couple of those. I drew a special trolley that you see all the time. I did a lot, man. I did a lot. We failed the class. Fuck my partner. And she was a senior too. It was so stupid, man. But we got through the SSN. We are in the 24s now. Things are looking pretty nice, actually. Oh, do we even have cut? Oh, yeah, we just got cut. Duh, SS and. Awesome. Who's gonna... I think it's gonna have to be Reiner. Do I want it to be Reiner? Because it could be Krusty. I could... Oh, he has Tailwind. It'll be Reiner. Sick with it. Alright then. So, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna park it right here. Is my team healed? It's not healed. I'm stupid. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but in the next episode we are gonna take on the Vermilion City Gym. Again, sorry for going on this long ass story, but I don't know, man. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to stick around for future videos on the HomeBoiz channel as well as the individual channels in the description below, and I will see you guys next time. Later, people.
Turn your appearance to a disappearance. I fuck with nothing but gangsters, nothing but hustler niggas. Sound off, sound